Today, Vanity Fair released a ton of awesome pictures and a behind the scenes video and a full preview article about The Last Jedi, and I'm here to break down what we learned about the characters and locations of the film, both new and old. Let's start with Finn, Poe, and the Resistance in general. We got confirmation that the device we see Finn wearing in the teaser is a back-to-suit to heal his back injury. We learned that Rose's full name is Rose Tico. We already knew that she would be a mechanic in the Resistance, but on top of that, we learned that she has a sister named Paige who is a gunner also for the Resistance. We know Rose will be going on an undercover mission with Finn behind enemy lines. Now I'm speculating, but I'd be willing to bet Paige will be killed off early in the film, possibly during the attack led by Phasma in the trailer. Paige's death could be the impetus for Rose to get out of her comfort zone and join Finn. Another new Resistance character is Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo, played by Laura Dern. We still don't know much more about her, but I'll take just a name at this point. Oh, and now we know that she has purple hair. I don't know why, but I love it. The only other thing we really learn about the Resistance is that there's a scene which requires General Organa to slap Poe. That intrigues me. They seem to have a very close and trusting relationship in the Poe Dameron comic. I can't even imagine what Poe could have said or done to warrant a slap, but if I had to guess, maybe Poe says something disparaging about her son. Jumping back to Finn and Rose and their mission, we learned that they will be headed to a casino-like world called Canto Bight. It's said to be a Monte Carlo, James Bond type environment. It'll be interesting to see as it sounds like a rich, luxurious version of the Mos Eisley Cantina. We'll be seeing a host of new and interesting creatures, but they all look so fancy. Also, one of my first thoughts looking through the pictures of Canto Bight was that we would finally get to see a Bothan on screen, but Pablo Hidalgo almost immediately changed his Twitter handle to say, that's not a Bothan, so never mind. But also, come on, it looks exactly like a Legends Bothan. I guess it could be a Thakwash, but it's probably something new. I'm expecting Canto Bight is where we will encounter Benicio del Toro's character, although that's unconfirmed. His picture doesn't look as glamorous as the other ones we've seen from Canto Bight, but it could be in like a basement or a back alley or something. We're told that he goes completely unnamed in the film, but that he's being referred to as DJ by the filmmakers, and Rian Johnson said that we will see why when the movie is released. People have been speculating already that DJ stands for Dark Jedi, and I can see that. He's said to be a shady character of unclear allegiances. Dark Jedi don't have to be straight up evil. They use the dark side of the Force, but in Legends, plenty of them just used it for their own self-interest. Do they hurt people? Occasionally. But it's not like that's always their goal. I could see DJ being a character along the lines of Set Hearth from Legends and the Darth Bane trilogy. But DJ could stand for something else completely. I'm not going to go too deep into speculation here. But hey, speaking of possible dark side Force users, let's talk about the confirmed ones. Adam Driver hinted that Kylo Ren might be realizing that patricide isn't all it's cracked up to be, and says that his facial scar is internal as well as external. And since I haven't addressed my thoughts on how his scar moved between films, I'll go into that now. I don't care. It's a small cosmetic change that doesn't bother me one bit. Captain Phasma also appears unmasked. I'm guessing we'll actually get to see her face in the movie as well. Pablo Hidalgo in one of Vanity Fair's articles said that they only recently agreed that Phasma was actually a human. He also went into her new weapon a bit, and it sounds like we'll be learning about its origins in the Phasma comic book that comes out in September. That story is supposed to tell us how she got out of the trash compactor and off of Starkiller Base, but I'm sure there will be more to it than that. I'm guessing that weapon has significant meaning to her, and she'll make sure to retrieve it before she escapes. And let's talk about Phasma for a minute. I hope her readiness to lower the defenses of Starkiller Base is addressed at some point. I imagine it's possible no one knew of her direct involvement, so I could see her getting away with that, but if it's common knowledge, there better be some fallout for her. I really want to see Phasma kick butt this time around. Gwendolyn Christie deserves more than she got in The Force Awakens. The last thing mentioned about her by Pablo is that her background is more low-tech than many might assume. People have been joking that she could be Sindel Tawani from the Ewok films all grown up. This comment hilariously lines up with that, but I just can't imagine that that's true. The Phasma book, also due out in September, will probably fill us in. The final group we need to talk about is, of course, Luke and Rey. The Star Wars show revealed more information from Pablo, who said that as far as Lucasfilm is concerned, Anakin and Luke's lightsaber is now considered Rey's. I'm guessing this means we won't be seeing her build one of her own anytime soon. We aren't told too much about Luke, but it turns out he hasn't been all alone on Ahch-To this entire time. Those huts we saw belong to an indigenous race of caretakers. All Rian Johnson would say about them is that they are not Ewoks. Also, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher share an image together, which is amazing. I really hope we get to see the two of them share some screen time. Not to be a downer here at the end, but Kathleen Kennedy said that the plan was for Leia to be front and center in Episode 9, after Han got to be at the forefront of The Force Awakens and Luke gets to be the center of The Last Jedi. She says 9 would have been Leia's. It'll break my heart if Luke doesn't get to see his sister one last time. The last thing I want to talk about from this article is Rian Johnson himself, and more specifically his comments on the Lucasfilm Story Group. I'm always fascinated by how story creators work with the story group, and he goes into that a little bit, basically saying that they don't impose plot points or anything like that. It sounds like he had freedom to tell the story he wanted, which I think is great. That lines up with comments of Timothy Zahn's as well, who said that they will send notes on small details about names or inconsistencies, but they didn't make any demands regarding the story itself. But that's it for today. What do you guys think of the article and the images? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with Star Wars news and lore videos every single day, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.